Hello you lot, Miller Corner here, welcome back once again, and to this day it's now been a couple of weeks since I unveiled the enormous accident that happened in Germany that basically put the Super Seicento off the road permanently. I've had loads of people messaging me on Instagram, questioning me in YouTube comments, and even contacting me through my Facebook page to ask what's coming next. Are you going to replace it? Are you leaving it behind? Will there be no more Super Seicento? What is coming next for your car and for the project? And I figured it's been long enough now, there's been enough of you asking, that I can now give you a justifiable, substantial update on what's going on with the Super Seicento project. When I saw the car after it had been brought back to the UK, the very first thing I said was that it was actually in a worse state than when I left it, owing to the fact that it had a crack in the windscreen. Well, if you were to see the car now, a crack in the windscreen is the least of its problems, because since you saw it last and we declared the car was unsavable on account of having bent chassis legs, it has been quite extensively stripped. Since we last saw it sitting in my dad's workshop, the car hasn't moved, but in his lunch hour and any kind of free time he's got, my dad has gradually been stripping the Super Seicento down. So much so, in fact, that if you were to see it now, you might not even recognise it as my car anymore. As well as all the panels that came off when we saw the state of the front end, the doors have now gone, the seats front and back have gone, the stereo's gone, parts of the dash have gone, the airbag's been taken out of the steering wheel, there's bits being pulled out day after day after day. The car is getting stripped right back, and to be honest with you, when I saw some pictures of it, my heart sank a little bit, because that's the car that I love, and seeing it stripped down to little more than a rolling shell really got me, I've got to be honest with you. It really got to me to think that the last time that car was being worked on, it was being extensively modified. It was getting a new engine, a new exhaust, a new intake, it was being tuned and made more powerful, more fun to drive for a lifetime of adventures, and in particular preparing it for the road trip to Poland. And now, the next time it's being properly worked on, it's getting stripped down, and I'll be honest, those were not photos that I enjoyed seeing. Unfortunately, reality does have to slap you in the face every now and then. That car is sat in a busy workshop and it's taking up valuable space that the guys there just can't afford to have a shell that is unsavable just sitting around and getting in the way. It's gotta go. It's probably not going to be fixable even with months and months of work, and now it's getting in the way and taking up space in a busy and bustling workshop environment. As I said, occasionally reality and fantasy don't always work together, and it's much the same here in that the Super Seicento in its current state can't really stay there, particularly when at this point in time the car doesn't start, so it can't even be driven to be moved around the workshop to be got out of the way more easily. The car is best described at the moment as a rolling shell, but that's all going to change next week when the big components start getting pulled off. The engine and what's left of the gearbox are coming out, the drive shafts and the hubs are coming out, the coilovers, the brakes and the wheels are all getting pulled off, so the shell can then be carted away and disposed of. Unfortunately, that also means I've had to empty all my personal stuff out of the car that it's accumulated over the almost 3 years that I've owned that car. In fact, I've actually got a big bag of it here. This is all the stuff that was pulled out of the car. There's all kinds of stuff here. I mean, that, I don't know if you recognise it, is the remote central locking control box that we installed. It's had some wiring chopped off on either end so we can still kind of tell where it all goes, but that's had to be pulled out. That was sad because that was a big day of work. That's some silicone spray, that's to kind of keep the seatbelts moving and stuff. There was this bag I had in the boot with some spare oil in it, because you should always keep some spare oil in your car. This cloth, which I always use to kind of clean the windows and stuff in the winter when it fogs up, it's always good to have a cloth in your car for wiping stuff down. An ice scraper, which I haven't used in about 6 months, don't even know why that was still in there. Phone holder that didn't actually hold my phone for any of the trip to Poland despite being in the way and being on the windscreen the whole time, but that's been pulled out as well. There's the C-spanner for adjusting the coilovers. These tickets are actually from the Epic Road Trip V1 when we went to Canterbury. These were the tickets I bought to park in one of the car parks we went to in Canterbury. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I'm barely scratching the surface. There's like even my fuzzy dice you can see there. The fuzzy dice that were the very first mod that I did to the car on like day 4 of ownership. Those are in there. There's the sticker, EBC sticker that came with the green stuff brake pads we put in. There's an awful lot. You can basically document the entire history of the car with what's in this bag, and it's really sad to see my entire ownership of that car summarised in one big bag. I thought we'd have a change of camera angle, since even I will acknowledge that me sat up against a wall for more than a few minutes is going to get a little bit boring. Anyway, it does lead on to the next question, which is, with the Super Seicento being stripped at the end of this week, is that the end of it? Well, that's actually more of a two-part answer, to be honest with you. Part one is the shell itself, with bent chassis rails on both sides and the car looking less like a square at the front and more like a triangle now. It's definitely not savable. That shell is done, which is why it's being fully stripped. It's gonna have to go very soon. The problem is, to get the Super Seicento project back up and moving again, I'm gonna need a new shell. The good news is, I've got one. This is a 2003 Fiat Seicento Sporting. It's the same basic model as my first car, but unlike my original, this one is as stock as they come. What it doesn't have, however, is any significant panel damage or any rust, which makes it the perfect way for the Super Seicento to live on. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and this lemon coloured car is me making the best lemonade I possibly can. I've got another yellow Fiat in my life, I've got my sparkle back, and the Super Seicento is coming back. This is the perfect way for the Super Seicento to live on, and I am so excited to get my awesome little car back on the road once again. But here's the thing, I feel like I kind of let the Super Seicento down. It was an epic car that never set a foot wrong, and then what got it written off was an accident that was by no means the car's fault. So now I feel like I owe it to the car that in this brand new form it's going to be bigger, better, and even more epic than it was previously. As I said before, it's going to be a long-term project to get the Super Seicento back on the road, but I'm going to take you with me as much as I possibly can, and when it is back, there's something big in the works to celebrate that I can't wait to share with you all. As well as the Super Seicento coming back big time, there's also the brand new project coming to the channel in the next few weeks that I've been talking about, and I can't wait to start that one either. In short, to see the Super Seicento coming back bigger and better than ever before, as well as the brand new project and loads of other epic automotive adventures, make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up, and also subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified when a new Miller Corner video is released. But for now, thanks very much for watching this video, everybody, and have a brilliant rest of your day. See you soon, and have a good one.